카메라
액션!
피었습니다.
Almost immediately after its 2021 release, Squid Game became Netflix's biggest hit and a global cultural phenomenon, representing the triumphant Korean wave that is sweeping the world alongside BTS and Bong Joon-ho's Parasite, which it shares many thematic similarities with. Will Season 2 live up to the high expectations of viewers, provide another exciting journey through the lethal games, and give a fresh societal criticism of the excesses of late capitalism? No, is the short response. However, the second season of Squid Game remains disappointing even after accounting for such unjust and excessive expectations. Creator and showrunner Hwang Dong-hyuk, who also writes and directs each episode, gives us more of the same rather than trying to deliver anything new and different. Instead of pushing viewers to the next level of the games, he only introduces them to a new set of games that seem to be a mild modification of ones that they are already accustomed to. If Season 1 was frequently compared to shows like Battle Royale or Hunger Games, Season 2 is mostly overshadowed by its predecessor and appears to be even worse. Nevertheless, it got off to a pretty positive start. As seen at the conclusion of Season 1, Song Ji-hun, still successfully portrayed by Lee Young-jae, made the decision to do all in his power to halt the games rather than depart the nation and enjoy his newfound fortune. 2 years later, we see a Ji-hun who has developed an obsession with what has become into a personal grudge and crusade. He spends the money he earned last season on personnel, guns, and equipment while he is sheltered in a deserted hotel. The first episode focuses on the desperate hunt for the recruiter, who, as seen in Season 1, collects up desperate people in the subway system and any place else there are stressed-out salarymen and destitute, hopeless people. This is a fantastic chance to revive the terrifyingly good Gong-yu as the recruiter and to really let his character to play out what ultimately proves to be his extremely unsettling insanity. He and Ji-hun's Russian roulette face-off is undoubtedly the season's greatest scene and a fantastic dramatic moment. With the season focusing on Ji-hun's hunt and yet including deadly games of a novel kind, this appeared to be setting the stage for an intriguing new narrative path. Sadly, our hero has returned to the games at the start of Episode 3, and viewers are likely to get a strong sense of déjà vu from that point on. The original game is the same, the sets and decor are the same, the rules and techniques are, mostly, the same, the camera angles and general aesthetics are the same. Instead, the show uses a new group of participants with fresh personalities, backstories, and personal dynamics to maintain viewers' attention, just like any real-life reality TV game. Unfortunately, compared to their predecessors, the new contenders are far less sympathetic and persuasive, which gives the program plenty of chances to repeat itself. However, Squid Game Season 2 makes a concerted effort to provide commentary on South Korean culture through these people, and some of it is fascinating. Player 120, Cho Hyun-ju, Park Sung-hoon, a transgender woman and former Special Forces soldier, is one of the recruits. While one of the pink-suited guards, Kong No-yeol, is a former North Korean soldier who has no qualms about executing candidates but opposes organ harvesting, other contestants regularly mention their military duty, which is required in South Korea. Another character remembers the struggles she endured during the Korean War. The matriarch Jeom-ja, Kong Ae-shim, who plays the old man from Season 1. Another ex-Marine makes reference to his grandfather's Vietnam War service, a reference to the hardships and sacrifices made by earlier generations that has generated controversy in Vietnam. The show seems to be posing the question, is our current society like a war of all against all? However, in contrast to the self-centered individualism promoted and portrayed by the games, the military is also an institution founded on camaraderie and togetherness to aid in defending society against its adversaries. Similar to Season 1, the new episodes provide a stark contrast between collaboration and competition, the two opposites of human conduct, and subtly question viewers which side they would support if they were involved. Like in Season 1, family also reappears as a major subject, an institution that helps people become more human and socialized and may act as a check on egotism and individuality. As a result, the program raises concerns and concepts that are universally relevant while being firmly rooted in South Korean history and society. Additionally, the criticism of the excesses of capitalism in modern society, whether South Korean or not, appears, just as it did in Season 1. One of the many ways the show draws connections between the deadly games and outside society is by highlighting how deeply indebted all of the competitors are, and even how their creditors threaten to harvest their organs if they don't pay. The latter serve as a microcosm of our dystopian society as a whole, a wild yet scathing parody of the injustices and outright exploitation that so many people experience in the real world. It achieves this in a light-hearted, almost metafictional manner, placing viewers in the shoes of the unnamed VIPs who watch and take pleasure in the games but are never seen here. After all, we may be taking pleasure in the sight of death and human suffering. However, wasn't that the main focus of Season 1 already? The fact that Hwang Dong-hyuk's social satire is still relevant today is a sad observation in and of itself, as he wrote the season in the wake of the 2008/2009 financial and economic crisis. However, similar films were produced as early as the 1960s with the introduction of television and mass media spectacle, beginning with Elio Petri's The 10th Victim. Season 2 doesn't go further into the problems or present modern viewpoints on them. Choi Sung-hyun, a rapper also known as T.O.P. and former member of a K-pop group, plays Thanos, player 230, a former rapper and borderline psychopath, with extravagant delight as one of the antagonists of the new season. Another competitor is Lee Myung-gi, player 333, portrayed by Yim Si-won, a Bitcoin dealer and former YouTuber who is to blame for Thanos and other people's personal insolvencies. Undoubtedly, these novel plotlines are intriguing, but where do they go? Absolutely nowhere, and as Season 2 turns out to be merely half of one, none of the characters' adventures are satisfactorily concluded. Season 3 will premiere sometime in 2025 after Episode 7 ends on a cliffhanger, serving as a helpful reminder that Netflix is a well-oiled capitalist machine in and of itself. The only bright spot is that the upcoming season will also be the final one, which may allow the program to stop wasting time and using terrible fillers, anything that occurs outside of the game starting in Episode 3, to get to the purpose. But it's unclear if the program will have anything novel to say or depict.